in my own hometown. Stranger.
Howdy folks, Little Johnny. Just sitting out the brewery, looking around. I'm going to do a quick sneaky taster on the chopped cherry porter. I did want to leave it go for a while before having a real go at it, but you know, being how I am, I can't sort of wait. It gets a little bit impatient. I think everyone knows how that feels. But batch was bottled back on the 26th of January on Australia Day. It's now it's now Valentine's Day, so it's 14. It's 19 days old. I did do 2 bottles in PET just so I could sort of get an idea how carbonation was travelling, and you can see that bottle's fairly firm, which is why I thought I might have a crack at a bit of a taster. So pop the bottle in the fridge. It's been in the fridge I think for about 3 days, so which means it was about 15 or 16 days in the bottle when I stuck it in the fridge. So it's been sitting in the mid-20s, low to high 20s in the out here in the garage. So carbonation shouldn't be a problem. As I said, that PET bottle would indicate that there's a decent amount of carbonation in there. So I thought, stuff it, let's have a bit of a go. So I grabbed him out. Now, only a gentle little fizz there, but I did carb these quite low. I've only used half a carb drop in each bottle. Just in the, both of them in a 330ml stubby. Because I knew I was going to have these sitting a while before I was going to really drink them. I really want to leave these go through, you know, for at least another sort of 2 months before I really get into them. And they will be around for, you know, 6 or 7 months before I get the end of the batch. So I've had batches where I've left them where I've carbonated with a normal sort of amount, and by the time I get sort of halfway through the batch they start getting over-carbonated and they get a little bit bloody bitey and not at their best. So I've cut back on that carbonation this time to sort of try and extend the shelf life a little bit. So as a result, certainly not expecting them to be too fizzy at the moment. The main thing I'm looking now is just to get an idea of how the flavours are going and how it's looking. Like I said, that's definitely got a very red tinge to it, that beer I'm pouring, which one would sort of expect from the cherries. So it is quite dark, and that's, you know, again, it's a porter. That's going to be dark. It didn't pour much head, and as I said, it wasn't very very fizzy. It's certainly there's cherries there, the chocolate. Can't really pick up anything of the coconut on the nose. But I mean, overall, the coconut was a very small player in the overall makeup. It wasn't a real lot. Just have to get a little bit in there. So it's quite dark there. It's still dark even up to the sunlight. As I said, you can see a pinkish, rosé-ish sort of colour tinge around the edges where you can get a bit of light through it. So it's looking and smelling alright. It's interesting. The cherry taster's there, there's no doubt about that, but not coming across as a completely cherry flavour. No, that's sort of hard to say. I mean, you can taste it as cherry, but it's not that sweet cherry taste. It's got the cherry tartness. And I suppose when you think about it, if you drink, you eat tin cherries, it's that same sort of flavour, and that could be a little bit of tannins or something coming out of it during the boil. There's not a lot of chocolate there. There is some chocolate. It's there at the back of the mouth, and as it's sitting, I can taste it there around the edges of the mouth, and everything else is sort of drying off out of my mouth. I can feel that chocolate's coming through. It's not big on the initial taste, and probably struggling, I think, to get any of the coconut. No, the coconut's there. Again, it's not a lot. It's really, it's hidden behind everything else. It is there if you really allow yourself to look for it. As I said, it's lightly carved. There's a little bit of carb there. It's not much, but there is a bit. There's a few floaters in there, and whenever I've done particularly chocolate in beers, they tend to get a little bit of floaties in there. It does almost look like they could be bloody coconut, but they're very small. It's not big floaties. I don't know if you can sort of really pick them up. But what you can see is that beer is incredibly clear. Those floaties are quite easy to see in there. So despite the fact that it's black, the clarity is really good. So, yeah, for 2 and a bit weeks old, and a couple of days in the fridge. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's not ready to drink now. I mean, it's drinkable, and if you're keen enough, you could get into it, and I'm happily going to finish it off. But it's definitely going to need some time to develop, and it would be interesting to see how those individual flavours react to one another and how they come together. But from my point of view, experimental wise, this has worked. I was a little unsure. There was a little bit of trepidation about exactly how this was going to turn out. I've seen people. I've done the chopped cherry before, and it's worked all right. I've never pushed it this hard. I've never used this amount of cherry, this amount of chocolate. I was a bit worried with the coconut what was going to happen. I don't expect to have any sort of head retention on this sort of beer, but there's a bit of lacing there, and some indications there'll be some lacing on the glass as it goes. So I think that'll come along as it develops. As I said, I wasn't expecting anything big that way, especially with the oils from the chocolate and the coconut. But the flavours are definitely there, and I think it's going to age very well. So definitely a success as far as I'm concerned. So now I'll just let it to get these bottles put away now, somewhere where they can sit safely. Still got a couple of weeks of hot weather here in winter, so I want to get it out of the heat. So I might have to stick them inside in a cooler spot for a while until the weather cools down, and then they can continue to age nicely. As a couple of months, and I think that's going to be a really good brew. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So if you're looking at doing something like that, go back to the original video, have a look through. It wasn't difficult, it wasn't a hard brew to do. It's just getting the ingredients together, which it wasn't particularly the easiest thing. And if to a degree, if you're not living around somewhere where you've got ready access to cherries, you're going to pay quite a lot of money. As I said, 5 kilos of cherries in this batch. If you're paying retail price for that, you're looking at anywhere from 60 to $100 just for the cherries. We finished up with, I can't remember, I haven't written it down, 16 litres, so not quite 2 cartons bottled, and the batch has probably ran out at about, even for me it's probably cost about $70, so somewhere around $40 a carton to make. But go down to your local bottler and buy something similar and you're going to pay 15 to 20 bucks a bottle. So get into it. It's a good drop. So I'm going to finish this one, and until I'm looking at you again and we're brewing some more beer, good brewing.